I do my makeup in somebody else's car. We order different drinks at the same bars. I know about what you did and I wanna scream the truth. She thinks you love the beach, you're such a damn liar. Well, those great whites, they have big teeth. Oh, they bite you. Thought you said that you would always be in love, but you're not in love no more. Did it frighten you how we kissed when we danced on the light of floor, on the light of floor? But I hear sounds in my mind, brand new sounds.
Interesting progression.
I wake up in a different bedroom. I whisper things, the city sings them back to you. Well, those rumors, they have big teeth. Oh, they bite you. Thought you said that you would always be in love, but you're not in love no more. Did it frighten you how we kissed when we danced on the light of floor?
That's shimmery.
But I hear sounds in my mind, brand new sounds in my mind. But honey, I'll be seeing you wherever I go. But honey, I'll be seeing you down every road.
Oh. Okay, that's interesting. Subtle strings in the tension. Kind of ominous, huh? So the album opens up with a song called Green Light, and it's interesting. I gotta say, I definitely miss Lorde's tone. She's got a certain modulation with her voice, like a certain draw to it that's just very unique. The tune itself is very dancey and has an upswing beat to it, but there's definitely some underlying tension from it all. I love the subdued and minimal string section. It just adds like that thin layer of tension that just kind of makes you feel like you're on the edge of your seat a little bit. The muted percussion is very interesting as well. It's got almost no decay at all. It adds nothing to the atmosphere. So that's when those string sections and the muted layer of bass really just kind of open the track up. I love how the piano is the instrument your ear is just naturally drawn to. It just reminds me of like a darker dancing ABBA tune. They also really stick the landing on this one. I like how the outro kind of just has these darker, ominous, like distorted or overdriven synth tones, very similar to like a Nine Inch Nails outro. We're essentially going in this album completely blind, so I'm gonna do my best to decipher what these lyrics are about, so bear with me, but here we go. Okay, so the song starts off with her saying, "I do my makeup in somebody else's car." Leads me to believe that she's going to the bar with a group of friends or something, but then there's also one part of me that thinks that she's actually just in the car with her significant other and she's calling him just somebody else. And then with the second line, it says we order different drinks at the same bars. So it sounds like they're either bar hopping or they're in the same vicinity or something. Now we get to the action right away. She says, I know what you did and I want to scream the truth. Now, very quickly, we start learning that Lorde, wait, is her name actually Lorde? Who names her kid Lorde? There's no way her name is actually Lorde. Okay, yeah, here we go. Her name is actually Ella Marja Lani Yalich O'Connor. Well, I think calling her Lorde is just going to save us a lot of time, so we're going to continue with that. Anyway, Lorde apparently knows something. Apparently, this person is involved in some sort of rumor, and it seems to be circling around, and she's very well aware of it. She wants to scream out, but she's not saying anything. She does, however, use some very clever and interesting metaphors in hopes that it'll somehow swing back around and actually hurt this guy somehow. However, she knows the truth. She thinks this dude is a liar. He's lying about stupid things like liking the beach. You know, I think a lot of men probably lie about liking the beach just because girls want to go there. It's a horrible place to be. There's a shit ton of sand. There's salt in the water and there's no shade. The beach sucks and I will die on this hill. But obviously there's some sort of romantic connection between these two. They had an intimate kiss on the light up dance floor, and Lorde even wonders, did it frighten you? Was it too much? Did it scare him away? I don't know. Lorde is definitely thinking about this. It's definitely weighing on her mind, but she is definitely also looking forward to that green light, possibly just to move on to the next bar. So far, not bad. Let's see where the rest of this album goes.
Oh God, I'm clean out of air in my lungs. It's all gone. Played it so nonchalant. It's time we dance with the truth.
There's no decay.
Along with the truth. Hey, we're sleeping through all the days. I'm acting like I don't see every ribbon you used to tie yourself to me. But my hips have missed your hips, so let's get to know the kicks. Will you sway with me? Go astray with me. You're queen of the weekend. Ain't a pill that could touch our rush. But what will we do when we're sober? When you dream with a fever, bet you wish you could touch our rush. But what will we do when we're sober? These are the games of the weekend.
The horn section?
But we care.
Surprising.
When you dream with a fever, bet you wish you could touch our rush. But what will we do when we're sober? Oh God, I'm closing my teeth around this liquor wet lime. Midnight, lose my mind.
What's with all the teeth?
Can we keep up with the rules? But bodies all through my house. I know the story by heart. Jack and Jill get fucked up and possessive when it get dark. But my hips have missed your hips, so let's get to know the kicks. Will you sway with me? Go astray with me. King queen of the weekend. Ain't a pill that could touch our rush. But what will we do when we're sober? When you dream with a fever, bet you wish you could touch our rush. But what will we do when we're sober? These are the games of the weekend. We pretend that we just don't care, but we care. What will we do when we're sober? When you dream with a fever, bet you wish you could touch our rush. In the morning, you'll be dancing with all the heartache and the treason, the fantasies of leaving. But we know that when it's over, in the morning, you'll be dancing with us. Oh, dancing with us. Oh, you'll be dancing with us. Can you feel it? Dancing with us.
The arpeggio's speeding. So again, we have another minimalistic dancey tune that kind of dips its toe in like a touch of anxiety. Yeah, this thin backing track, Night Midnight, Lose My Mind, just looping over and over, is just adding like a certain sense of urgency to the entire song. Almost no decay whatsoever on the percussive elements, really interesting use of bass and some softer pads that just kind of fill up some of that atmosphere from time to time. I enjoyed the breakdown, as simple as it was, it actually just really worked within the constraints of this song. And then out of left field, we get a horn section, which actually really surprised me. I was not expecting it, but I enjoyed it. All right, so if I had to guess, it seems Sober is following the same footsteps as Green Light. It seems like it's kind of a continuation of that story, what happened with the rest of the night. So we might be digging our teeth into a concept album here. They're having a grand old time, they're bar hopping, they're dancing together, they're doing whatever. She misses his hip, she misses his touch and everything, which leads me to believe that there may have been some sort of ongoing relationship, but this relationship might only be alive when they're out partying. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've been in this kind of relationship. I've been in the relationship where you're really only together when you're out bar hopping or partying or whatever. You just tend to gravitate towards each other when you're getting fucked up. But it doesn't ever really lead anywhere. And 9 times out of 10, one person takes it too far and it just gets out of control and you become codependent and it's a whole fucking thing. But then comes the question, what do we do when we're sober? Can we do anything? Do we have any actual connection? Do we have similar interest? What can this relationship survive off of? It should be interesting to see where the rest of this album goes. Let's continue.
A couple rebel Top Gun pilots flying with nowhere to be. Don't know you super well, but I think that you might be the same as me. Behave abnormally. Let's let things come out of the woodwork. I give you my best, I tell you all my best lies. Yeah, awesome, right? So let's let things come out of the woodwork. I give you my best, I tell you all my best lies. See me rolling, showing someone else love, dancing with our shoes off. No, I think you're awesome, right? Our rules, our dreams, we're blind. Blowing shit up with homemade dynamite. Our friends, our drinks, we get inspired. Blowing shit up with homemade dynamite. Blowing shit up with homemade dynamite. Might get your friend to drive, but he can hardly see. Ooh. We'll end up painted on the road, red and chrome, all the broken glass sparkling. I guess we're partying, so let's let things come out of the woodwork. I give you my best, I tell you all my best lies. See me rolling, showing someone else love, hands into your t-shirt. Now I think you're awesome, right? Our rules, our dreams, we're blind. Blowing shit up with homemade dynamite. Our friends, our drinks, we get inspired. Blowing shit up with homemade dynamite. Blowing shit up with homemade dynamite.
It's almost out of tune.
Now you know it's really gonna blow. Our rules, our dreams, we're blind. Blowing shit up with homemade dynamite. Our friends, our drinks, we get inspired. Blowing shit up with homemade dynamite. Blowing shit up with homemade dynamite. Blowing shit up with homemade dynamite. Our rules, our dreams, we're blind. Blowing shit up with homemade dynamite. Our friends, our drinks, we get inspired. Blowing shit up with homemade dynamite.
Very spacey. All right, so this one, the drums are definitely a bit more prevalent in the mix, are drawn a bit forward. There's also a certain crunch to them or a certain drive to them. It makes it feel like it's almost peaking, but it's not. I also like the muted lead on this one that feels almost out of tune. There's not much decay on any of the instruments except for when we get those massive pads that sweep in and just kind of give us that angelic feel. The song also has some great vocal layering as well. I appreciate how the vocals are adding most of the actual atmosphere to this song. Song is called Homemade Dynamite, and it leads me to believe that this song is about self-sabotage. She talks about showing her best side, giving her best lines, and telling her best lies. She thinks this person is awesome, but there's a certain part of her as well that wants to just blow things up, which makes me believe it's kind of almost like self-sabotage, or possibly self-preservation if she knows she's going down a dark road. It also seems like a direct continuation of this party night that's going on. Things get kind of disturbing over here when she talks about, might get your friend to drive, but he can hardly see. Will end up painted on the road red and chrome, all the broken glass sparkling. That definitely leaves you with a interesting visual. I have almost no sympathy for drunk drivers. You know, I used to hear the stories about what would happen if you get caught drunk driving, you know, the fine and how much it all cost and get your license taken away, the court fees and all that stuff. And some part of me felt like, oh, damn, they really throw the book at you. But especially nowadays with Uber and Lyfts and everything like available to you, like at the tap of a button, if you can afford to go out and bar hop, you can afford to get an Uber. Just fucking don't do it. It's a lot more fun with an Uber anyway.
Well, summer slipped us underneath her tongue. Our days and nights are perfumed with obsession. Half of my wardrobe is on your bedroom floor. Use our eyes, throw our hands overboard. I am your sweetheart, psychopathic crush. Drink up your movements, still I can't get enough. I overthink your punctuation use. Not my fault, just a thing that my mind do. A rush at the beginning. I get caught up just for a minute. But lover, you're the one to blame. All that you're doing, can you hear the violence? Megaphones in my chest. Broadcast the boom, 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 and make them all dance to it. Broadcast the boom, 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 and make them all dance to it.
Oh.
Broadcast the boom, 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 and make them all dance to it.
There's actual dissonance. It's like abrasive.
Broadcast the boom, 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 and make them all dance to it. Broadcast the boom, 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 and make them all dance to it. Our thing progresses, I call and you come through. Blow all my friendships to sit in hell with you. But we're the greatest, they'll hang us in the Louvre. Down the back, but who cares, still the Louvre. Okay, I know that you are not my type. Still I fall, I'm just a sucker, let you fill her mind. But what about love? Nothing wrong with it, supernatural. Just moving close to me, closer, you feel it coasting. Rush at the beginning. I get caught up just for a minute. But lover, you're the one to
Oh, it's a fade out, huh? Okay, so sonically, this one is definitely very creative. I enjoy how the song starts off almost with like an intimate handshake almost. It's just Lorde and the quiet muted plucking of the guitar. Slowly but surely, we're introduced to different textures and instruments that really open up the atmosphere. Texturally, the percussive elements of this are interesting as well. Everything is very crunchy, overdriven, but also muted with almost no dissonance to them at all. And the bass counterpart to all of that is this muted thud, this arpeggiated loop that's just building tension. The bass line almost reads like a heartbeat racing. All right, let's talk about the lyrics on this one real quick. The summer slipped us underneath her tongue. This leads me to believe that this isn't an album all about one night of just bar hopping. It seems like they've spent an entire season together at this point. Obviously, she likes this guy. Half of her wardrobe is on his bedroom floor. She's starting to overanalyze little things that he does, question his punctuation. The whole thing definitely has that new love shine to it. She even mentions it here with the rush at the beginning. But this is where things start getting a little strange here. She says she gets caught up for a minute, but lover, you're the one to blame. All that you're doing, can you hear the violence? Now, nothing so far has led me to believe that anything he's doing is violent or anything that she's doing is violent. Yeah, possibly a bit self-destructive, and it's a metaphor for that, but I'm not sure where this violence comes in. But still, she's infatuated with this guy. She wants everybody to share and relish in the love that they have together. She wants to put a megaphone to her chest and have everybody dance to a racing heartbeat that kind of, again, falls in line with that rumbling, arpeggiated bass line. So even though I think this relationship is toxic and there's even some self-sabotage going on, there's still definitely some strong feelings. She wants to share this love with people. She wants to share this intoxication with everybody around her. I also think the long instrumental fade out that's kind of building, I think it's kind of leading us into the next part of what this is going to be. It seems like summer is fading away and we're possibly moving on to a different season where realization starts to slip in.
Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me, says he made the big mistake of dancing in my store. Says it was poison, so I guess I'll go home, into the arms of the girl that I love, the only love I haven't screwed up. She's so hard to please, but she's a forest fire. I do my best to meet her demands, play at romance, we slow dance in the living room, but all that a stranger would see is one girl swaying alone, stroking a cheek. They say, you're a little much for me, you're a liability, you're a little much for me. So they pull back, make other plans. I understand, I'm a liability.
What perspective is this written from?
Make you leave. I'm a little much for everyone. The truth is, I am a toy that people enjoy till all of the tricks don't work anymore. And then they are bored of me. I know that it's exciting, running through the night, but every perfect summer's eating me alive until you're gone. Better on my own, they say. You're a little much for me. You're a liability. You're a little much for me. So they pull back, make other plans. I understand, I'm a liability. Get you wild, make you leave. I'm a little much for everyone. They're gonna watch me disappear into the sun. You're all gonna watch me disappear into the sun.
There she is. All right, sonically, this one is my favorite so far. Everything is just clean, just piano, a touch of xylophone, just for a bit of atmosphere. Her voice, not layered. There's no studio magic or production to hide behind. Stripped down songs like this are the ones that really show off that natural tone. All right, so it appears we moved on to the self-reflection portion of this album, and it's a bit concerning. She almost sees herself as a novelty, a shiny little toy that brings amusement for a short period of time and then is tossed away. The song starts off with the implosion of the relationship we've kind of been involved in the past 4 songs. She's in a taxi cab, and she's in her most vulnerable state, and she truly paints that picture. I mean, think about it. Think about it for a second. You're so overwhelmed and overcome with emotions that you're breaking down in front of a stranger in a moving vehicle in a small space. Like, that in itself is almost anxiety inducing. Apparently, this guy thought that she was toxic, and then she lays out this awesome metaphor. He made the mistake of dancing in her storm. So she goes home. She's in this taxi cab, and she finally gets home, and it seems like there's a glimmer of hope, but it gets worse. She goes home into the girl that she loves. The only relationship that she hasn't screwed up. She's hard to please, and then again uses another awesome metaphor, but she's a forest fire. She also has certain demands, certain things that she needs to adhere to. They play romance, they caress each other's cheeks, they're slow dancing, and then all of a sudden the bomb is dropped on us that there's nobody else in that room with her. And then we realize it's her self-reflecting. It's her calling herself poison. It's her telling herself that she's a liability. It's her telling herself that she's this shiny toy that people get bored of. However, there is a silver lining to all of this, and it's these last couple lines here. You're all going to watch me disappear into the sun. Now, on one hand, you could consider that her basically becoming a recluse and a shut-in and never getting involved with anybody, and her just always thinking that she's going to be a liability and she's just never going to put herself out there ever again. However, her saying that she's going to disappear into the sun, I think leaves us on a lighter note. To me, it feels like almost like an old Western where she's on her horse and she's just going to trail off into the sunset, and we're going to move on to the next part of the story.
Go back and tell it. Please, could you be tender? And I will sit close to you. Let's give it a minute before we admit that we're through. Guess this is the winner. Our bodies are young and blue. I'm at Jungle City, it's late and this song is for you. Cause I remember the rush when forever was us, before all of the winds of regret and mistrust. Now we sit in your car and our love is a ghost. Well, I guess I should go, yeah, I guess I should go. Heart, feelings, these are what they call heart, feelings of love. When sleepers and fevers all leave us right here in the cold. Oh, oh, along with the heart, feelings of love. God, I wish I believed you when you told me this was my home. Oh, oh. I light all the candles, got flowers for all my rooms. I care for myself the way I used to care about you. These days, we kiss and we keep busy. The waves come after midnight. I call from underwater. Why even try to get right when you've outgrown a lover? The whole world knows but you. It's time to let go of this endless summer afternoon. Heart, feelings, these are what they call heart, feelings of love. When the sleepers and fevers all leave us right here in the cold. Oh, oh, along with the heart, feelings of love. God, I wish I believed you when you told me this was my home. Oh, oh.
I love when I'm surprised. That is cool. This record takes risks, man.
Years loved you every single day, made me weak, it was real for me, yeah, real for me. Now I'll fake it every single day till I don't need fantasy, till I feel you leave. But I still remember everything, how we drift buying groceries, how you dance for me. I'll start letting go of little things till I'm so far
the contrast.
away from you, far away from you, yeah.
What the fuck is this foundation? The structure is so strange.
This is my favorite tape.
Bet you wanna rip my heart out. Bet you wanna skip my calls now. Guess what? I like that.
Sure, let's change key.
Mess your life up. Gonna wanna take my mouth shut. Look out. We're Loveless. Generation. Loveless. Generation. Oh, fucking with our lovers' heads. Generation. Bet you wanna rip my heart out. Bet you wanna skip my calls now. Guess what? I like that. 'Cause I'm gonna mess your life up. Gonna wanna take my mouth shut. Look out. We're Loveless. Generation. Loveless. Generation. Oh, fucking with our lovers' heads. Generation. Loveless. Generation.
Yeah, structurally, this one is definitely all over the place, and this song definitely takes some creative risks. The contrast between the beautiful organic instrumentals mixed together with almost the driven detuned synths is kind of a lot to swallow, but I definitely enjoyed it. Yeah, this one's definitely a little schizophrenic, but it might be sonically one of my favorite tracks so far on this album. Lyrically, it seems like we're continuing on the same theme. After the breakup, we've moved on to a completely different season. We're now in winter. But that does not mean that Lorde is over this relationship. She sees this relationship almost as a ghost. Again, great metaphors. So some time has definitely passed since this relationship has ended. She's been sitting with these thoughts and she's thinking, I bet you want to even block my calls at this point. I bet you want to tape my mouth shut so I don't say anything. Like there seems to be some true animosity between the two of them. Like this relationship probably didn't end on the best terms. I also learned in this song that it wasn't just a summer infatuation. She was actually together with this guy for quite some time. Down over here, she says, 3 years loved you every single day made me weak. So that omission of this relationship actually being a 3-year saga actually adds some gravity to this whole album. Now, up until now, we already know that this relationship hasn't ended on the best terms. He's been calling her some names, you know, saying that she's toxic and dancing in her storm, and she's just a little bit too much. And she even says right here, bet you want to rip my heart out. Bet you want to skip my calls now. So 100% things did not end amicably. But hold on, there is some silver lining to this song as well. She's starting to care for herself the way that she used to care for him. So maybe she's starting to embrace self-preservation and step away from some toxic behaviors that she used to do.
If I was feeling it, I'm psycho
That's sharp.
high. No, you won't remember in the morning when I speak my mind. Lights are on and they've gone home, but who am I?
What a great use of melody.
Oh, how fast the evening passes, cleaning up the champagne glasses. We told you this was melodrama. Oh, how fast the evening passes, cleaning up the champagne glasses. Our only wish is melodrama. Oh, how fast the evening passes, cleaning up the champagne glasses.
Voice.
Terror
Is that a gun?
when we wonder why we bother. Whoa, whoa. And the terror and the horror. Gotta wonder why we bother. Whoa, whoa. All the glamour and the trauma and the fucking melodrama. Whoa.
It's a great line.
All the gunfights and the limelights and the holy sick divine nights. Whoa. Don't talk about us, all the lovers, how we kiss and kill each other. Whoa.
Kiss and kill each other, Jesus.
Don't talk about us and discover how we kiss and kill each other.
Oh, I'm nervous. It's lush, it's wide, it's open. I'm preparing for something sharp. Now we're gonna build off it? Okay. Is that bells? Another fade out? God damn. I mean, it makes sense as a dramatic song, so I guess I'll let the fade out pass. But we've had at least 3 of them so far. Yeah, this one was beautifully orchestrated with organic tones. However, it's also embedded with some synthetics as well, some interesting wobbly effects in some of her vocal parts, and then that snare drum that sounds exactly like a gunshot. You really have to walk a fine line when you're taking as many creative risks as Lorde is taking on this album. Because in one sense, you want to keep people in the immersion. You want to create a space for them. You want them to live in that space, accept that space, hear the message, and think about, what it means to them. And that's kind of what makes a song a song. But what makes a creative song a song is when you can take them out of that immersion really quickly, snap them back to reality, or just make them go, what the fuck? And then drop them right back in it. And Lorde has been doing it time after time on these songs. All right, this song is called Sober Part 2. Obviously, there's already a track on this album called Sober. And, it's a kind of a fun, dancey pop tune, at least sonically. And, it leans into that line lyrically of, being intoxicated with a relationship and just kind of going out, having fun and, still wondering in the back of your mind if like that infatuation will wear off, if that, hangover of realization will come to fruition. Now, this track is definitely not a poppy dance track. This one definitely has a little bit more melancholy to it. It's got a bit more gravity to it, some weight, with the orchestrations and whatnot. Now, lyrically, this is the first track on the album that feels like she's not telling a story. In fact, it feels like it's a message she's directly sending to her ex. It reads like a message like she's sending to the guy saying, hey, I told everybody how we kissed and killed each other on this. Some shit's gonna go down. People are gonna be talking about it. It just kind of is what it is. I shared this very intimate part of my life with people. She's essentially saying, I've made our relationship a melodrama, and here it is.
Break the news, you're walking out to be a good man for someone else. Sorry, I was never good like you. Stood on my chest and kept me down. Hated hearing my name on the lips of a crowd. Did my best to exist just for you. Bet you rue the day you kissed a rider in the dark. Bet you rue the day you kissed a rider in the dark. Now she's gonna play and sing and lock you in her heart. Bet you rue the day you kissed a rider in the dark. I am my mother's child. I love you till my breathing stops. I love you till you call the cops on me. But in our darkest hours I stumbled a secret power. I find a way to be without you, babe. I still feel you now and then, slow like pseudoephedrine. When you see me, will you say I've changed? I ride the subway, read the signs, I let the seasons change my mind. I love it here since I stopped needing you. Bet you rue the day you kissed a rider in the dark. Bet you rue the day you kissed a rider in the dark. Now she's gonna play and sing and lock you in her heart.
Damn.
Bet you rue the day you kissed a rider in the dark. I am my mother's child. I love you till my breathing stops. I love you till you call the cops on me. But in our darkest hours I stumble on a secret power. I find a way to be without you, babe. I am my mother's child. I love you till my breathing stops. I love you till you call the cops on me. In my darkest hours I stumble on a secret power. I find a way to be without you,
Don't fade, don't fade, don't fade, don't fade, don't fade. Yes. All right, another really cool strip back track here. I love this one. What's it called? Writer in the Dark. Okay, we're learning a little bit more about the details of this relationship, which I'm going to get to in a second, but I do want to quickly just touch on some of the production. There's not too much to talk about. You have, a very beautiful orchestration behind her. The piano is the main root note of it all, but the melody really comes from Lorde. And again, without having too much vocal effects on her voice or too much layering, it's just, I don't know, it's stripped back and it really just shows her natural talent. And yeah, I definitely dig her tone. But when that layering is lined up, those harmonies are crisp, dude. I love it. And I'm so happy we didn't fade out on this one. The violin and cello are just playing the basic root notes of the main chorus of this song. It was gorgeous. But we have learned some new details from this story. Let's talk about it for a sec. It seems like there was some narcissistic behavior or jealousy coming from this guy. He did not like to hear her name in crowds of people, which leads me to believe that he probably wasn't too supportive of her performing. And it makes me wonder if she stifled her music in the beginning because she said she did her very best to exist for you. When you start giving somebody that foundation, when you start giving them that kind of power and control over you as a person, it is so dangerous. As much as you love somebody, as much as you want to give yourself to somebody, you're always going to be your own person. And it's important to treasure that and hold on to that. Don't lose yourself in somebody else, no matter how much you love them. Learning self-love and acceptance it's a learned skill. It's something that doesn't come naturally to everybody. Maybe some people, they just automatically think they're the shit and they just love everything they do. But I imagine for most of us, or at least for me, it was something I had to come to terms with. It was a voice in my head that I had to shake hands with and get to know and really have confidence in myself before I could truly open myself up and exist with them. Anyway, moving back into the song, we learn about one of the detrimental factors of the crumbling of this relationship, and that is that apparently he kissed another writer, so he cheated. How this album has played out and what I've heard this guy say to her and how he talks about her and how, she's a bit too much and she's poison and things like that, it leads me to believe that at some point he would swing this back around saying that like he was driven to this other person because she was just such bad news, that it was her fault in some kind of a way. I can definitely see some kind of gaslighting going on from that angle. But I think this was it. I think this was the moment. I think this was the moment that she might have had some clarity And as destructive as it may have been, she saw that clear line in the sand being drawn. I'm assuming there was some kind of massive blowout. You know, she's saying, I'll love you till you call the cops on me. She's probably expressing, how could you do this? You know, I gave you everything. I existed for you. You know, I love you. And maybe she was being a little irrational in the moment. But again, that line in the sand was drawn. The lyrics take a self-reflective turn, just like in other songs, where she compares this relationship to a ghost, where she sees things that, you know, remind her of him. But once again, there's also a silver lining to all of this. But in our darkest hour, I stumble on a secret power. I'll find a way to be without you. That tells me that she's ready to exist for herself. This is her superpower, loving herself. So yeah, I think she's content with not being with this guy. She's content with herself, hopefully loving herself. She's content with the fact that maybe he's now with the writer and they'll probably have issues of their own because she knows what he's like. But I think it kind of leaves things on a positive note. It leaves things on a more healthy note.
In my head, I play a supercut of us. All the magic we gave off, all the love we hadn't lost. And in my head, the visions never stop. These ribbons wrap me up, but when I reach for you, there's just a supercut. In your car, the radio up. In your car, the radio up. We keep trying to talk about us. I'm someone you may be my love. I'll be your quiet afternoon crush. Be your violent overnight rush. Make you crazy over my touch. But it's just a supercut of us. Supercut of us. Oh, it's just a supercut of us. Supercut of us. So I fall into continents and cars, all the stages and the stars. I turn all of it to just a supercut. 'Cause in my head, I do everything right. When you call, I forgive and I fight. Because of the moments I play in the dark. We were wild and fluorescent. Come home to my heart. In your car, the radio up. In your car, the radio up. We keep trying to talk about us. Slow motion, I'm watching our love. I'll be your quiet afternoon crush. Be your violent overnight rush. Make you crazy over my touch. But it's just a supercut of us. Supercut of us. Oh, it's just a supercut of us. Supercut of us. But it's just a supercut of us. Supercut of us. Oh, it's just a supercut of us. Supercut of us. 'Cause in my head, I do everything right. When you call, I forgive and not fight. All the moments I play in the dark, I'm fluorescent.
That's
Come
clever.
home to my heart. In my head, I do everything right. When you call, I forgive and not fight. Because of the moments I play in the dark. We were wild and fluorescent. Come home to my heart. 'Cause in my head, I do everything right. When you call, I forgive and not fight. Because of the moments I play in the dark. We were wild and fluorescent. Come home to my heart.
All right, maybe the fade out thing is growing on me a little bit. All right, so apparently Supercuts is not a song about where I get my haircut. It's an actual supercut she has in her head, this memory that she has, you know, and it shows us that she's still consumed. She still thinks about this guy, and she's put everything into like this highlight reel. But we do get a couple more details about this story. For one, it shows us that she's still impacted by this relationship. It had tremendous meaning to her, and the loss of this relationship was devastating. And to cope with it all, she's put together some sort of highlight reel in her head of all of the best moments. And we get some interesting details because, you know, on one hand, you know, everything we've heard about this guy has been fairly narcissistic and toxic, and she's even talked about violence, and I'm not sure if that's in the metaphoric violence or verbal violence or if it's actually straight up he was physically abusing her. So the listener at this point is led to believe this guy's kind of a piece of shit. However, there is a reason that she has this positive highlight reel in her head, just kind of looping around. And there's some interesting lyrics down here that might even paint her in a negative light. She says in her head she was doing everything right. And if we know anything about the positive highlight reel that she has for him, we know that's probably not the case. We know that she may have some sort of responsibility for this relationship crumbling. Now, the only indicator of what she's done that's wrong is when you call I forgive and not fight, which leads me to believe that there was some sort of like major blowout, possibly, you know, when he was kissing the writer in the dark room. But she is at least saying that there is some responsibility here, and she doesn't want to think about that. All she wants to do is put together this positive highlight reel and play it on loop in her mind and just have like these nice memories of it all. But hey, there's nothing wrong with having a positive highlight reel. I think we all do this, or at least I do this. You know, you think about the things that bring you joy and make you happy, and, you know, just try and focus on that stuff when you're in a position where you don't want to be. On the flip side of things, people also put negative highlight reels together in their head, and it's dangerous. It sucks, man. You don't want to be stuck in that place. You don't want to be doom scrolling your subconscious, you know? But I found myself having negative highlight reels myself, you know, when I'm at a place I don't want to be, or with somebody that I don't want to hang out with, and it just like runs my head like, oh God, this person sucks, or this place sucks. And it's not a good thing to do, you know. Make highlight reels of good stuff. We're only here for a certain amount of time. Might as well just fucking enjoy it.
I'm a liability. I'm a liability. Much for me. You're a little much for me. No, 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 no.
That vocoder is really present.
What you gonna do? Oh, all of the dreams that get harder, all of the things that I offer you. And all of the shit that we harbor make all of the kids in the choir sing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Maybe all this is the party. Maybe the tears and the highs we breathe. Oh no. Maybe all this is the party. Maybe we just do it violently. But you're not what you thought you
There's contempt behind this line. It's like she's disgusted.
But you're not what you thought you were. But you're not what you thought you were. But you're not what you thought you
Oh God, it just like drops you there. It just kind of leaves you like, oh shit, okay. All right, this one's interesting. It opens up with like the synth modulating, like you're almost coming out of a dream, like you're almost just kind of waking up, or you just had this aha moment. And I think lyrically it tells the same story. In the original track, obviously she's not in the best mental state. She's breaking down in taxi cabs, and she's just kind of having these moments of self-doubt and self-deprecation, and it's kind of sad all around. And in this one, she's basically coming back and saying with such contempt and disdain, but you're not what you thought that you were. This leads me to believe that, yeah, there was definitely some gaslighting going on, and, you know, him saying, yeah, you're crazy, you're schizophrenic, you're off the wall, you're a little too much, and that's why things are going this direction, and that's why I possibly kissed this writer in the dark. You know, she's coming to the realization, you're not what you thought you were. You weren't Mr. Perfect. There were some things on your end that were horrible as well. Again, the idea of violence is brought up. You know, she compares the relationship to a party, you know, this euphoric moment, and just the way that they share this euphoric moment is in a violent way, which kind of makes sense. You know, the first half of this album, I thought it was all, you know, either a one-night stand or a summer-long fling. Now we know it's a 3-year endeavor. And this party or relationship is just them doing it violently. Now, we don't know if it's actual violence or if this is a metaphor. I'm still not quite clear on that. What we do know for sure is it was toxic as fuck.
Every night I live and die, feel the party to my bones. Watch the wasters blow the speakers, spill my guts beneath the outdoor light. It's just another graceless night. I hate the headlines and the weather. I'm 19 and I'm on fire, but when we're dancing, I'm alright.
Is she only 19?
It's just another graceless night. Are you lost enough? Have another drink, get lost in us. This is how we get, let's so be us. Cause I don't know if they keep telling me where to go. I'll blow my brains out to the radio. All of the things we're taking, cause we are young and we're ashamed to send us to perfect places. All of our heroes fading. Now I can't stand to be alone. Let's go to perfect places. Every night I live and die, meet somebody, take 'em home. Let's kiss and then take off our clothes. It's just another graceless night. 'Cause all of the things we're taking, 'cause we are young and we're ashamed to send us to perfect places. All of our heroes fading. Now I can't stand to be alone. Let's go to perfect places. All the nights spent off our faces, trying to find these perfect places.
That is the question.
All the nights spent off our faces, trying to find these perfect places. What the fuck are perfect places anyway?
So sonically and lyrically, it appears we've swung back around to the beginning of this album. We're on a continuous loop here. We've got polished synth. We have an up-tempo dancey melody. We have layering and vocoder on the vocals again. We're kind of back in this party mode. She's talking about spilling her guts out behind the bar. And then we get this line here. I'm 19 and I'm on fire. I didn't realize how young she was. I guess I wasn't thinking about her age, but I didn't think she was 19. That means she's been in this 3-year-long relationship since she was 16 years old. That kind of puts a different spin on everything. So yeah, anyway, we swing back around to the beginning, sonically and lyrically, and essentially it's the same thing, the same mindset, exactly what she was doing before, but without all of the burden. She's not worried about the rumors. There's no jealousy. There's no animosity. It's just kind of her going out, having fun and trying to find the perfect place. But now she has the wherewithal to ask, what are perfect places? Who are perfect people? To me, it sounds like she's young and she's seeing herself back in this party cycle and she's starting to question if it's all worth it. I was immersed in the drama of it all and I didn't know if that was going to happen because I had no connection to her. I didn't know anything about her. All I knew was the song Royals and it didn't mean anything to me. But due to the clever writing, the metaphors, the storytelling nature of this all, I found myself immediately immersed in just the entire story. Vocally, this was really good as well. In my opinion, I think there was a little bit too much studio effects going on, too much use of the vocoder and just layering and whatnot. It wasn't any kind of crutch, and I know what she was going for, and I completely understand that pop sound and everything. But the thing is she has such a unique tone and such a naturally beautiful voice. I just wish it was showcased a little bit more here. Sonically, this was dramatic in all of the ways that I enjoy. It was a perfect use of organic and electronic instruments just working together in beautiful harmony. Yeah, this is a wild album, guys. Anyway, if you guys would like me to continue recording my Lorde reactions, let me know down in the comments and maybe I'll share it with y'all. Anyway, have a great night and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.